Are you ready for drinking? Drawing? What about laughing? Well, hold on to your butts. It's the ComX Friday Night Drink and Draw, with your hosts Sizzle and Spedsy, as well as a bunch of Australia's best-looking creators and artists. Hey, Sizzle, what say we start the shizzle?
Welcome to Friday Night's Drink and Draw, brought to you by ComX. We're here every week bringing together some of Australia's greatest artists and storytellers to chat with and draw characters created by a special guest. This week's special guest is none other than Mark Sexton of Bug and Stump.
What's that green light?
This is the first time Mark's been in front of a camera, if you can't tell.
I was just making sure it was working, really.
Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
That's okay. I'm going to have my first drink already. Oh.
Shane, should we bring on some...
We'll bring on some of the artists, yep.
Bring on some artists.
Yes.
Who you got? First time on the show. He's the editor-in-chief of Heaps Comics. And I may have made a phone call before the show to check how to pronounce his name. It's Josh Chodzizna.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Josh. It's awesome to have you here.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Next up,
Nick. Oh, he has a brand new book out this week. He puts the moose in vamoose. It's Nick May. Hey, buddy.
Old plug.
Oh, nice.
Old dude, new artist. Oh, here's a guy who's hoping to be promoted to colonel one of these days, but right now he's just Alex Major.
Hello, everybody.
Fireworks.
Actually, I don't know why I'm clapping you guys. No, don't clap me. I'm clapping you guys. You guys are awesome.
Golf clap.
Did I write this guy's name down? Yes, because when it comes to this dude, there are no friends. There's only foes. It's Peter Wilson. Hello. This is scary, not knowing who's coming next. He's an old school Bug and Stump fan and a radical Final Dragon. He's Ed Kearsley.
Crowd goes wild. And of course, last but not least,
a man whose comics were literally thrown out of a chopper in a war-torn Afghanistan. It's Dave Dye. Welcome to the show, dudes. This is a big one for me. Having Nick May and Mark Sexton here. This is two of my earliest inspirations when it comes to comics. So, Mark, can you tell us a little?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry already. I'm ready.
We're here to draw Bug of Bug and Stump. This guy.
Who's that? Oh, that guy. Fuck. I thought we were doing the other ones.
Oh, you want me to boost one of them?
Yeah.
And the one that's easy to draw.
Shit. I did your trick and pressed the wrong button.
He's got number 2. No. You've got to stop. No, you definitely have to stop.
I think I've got them all.
Well, yeah. Wow, going to run out pretty shortly.
And I've even got this. Wow. And I didn't exactly pay for it, but we'll go into that a bit later. Literally, funnily enough, I reread it last night. Actually, I'm going to introduce it to a segment. There's going to be a few of these tonight. Let me just show you. Now, this is called, the segment's called Spedsy Steals from Sexton. The story behind what we're looking at right now is I think it was OzCon 94, I believe. I was maybe 16 or 15. It was my first time at a comic book convention. I was meeting my heroes, like a guy dressed as Wolverine, a guy dressed as Shadowhawk, and the guys behind Bug and Stump. And every table at this convention.
Is this Sydney or Melbourne?
Melbourne, World Trade Center.
Yes, I remember that one.
Every table had free badges, free posters, free flyers for all these things. And so when I went to the Bug and Stump booth, I just assumed that the ash cans that were on the table were free. And then I got them to sign them, and then I put them in my bag. It wasn't until me and Dan May, we got home and we looked at our copies and the little $2 coin drawn in the corner, and we're like, oh, I think this was actually something we were meant to pay for. So Spedsy steals from Sexton. Hey!
And now I'm
Good
going.
one.
Bye.
He's calling the
And
police.
funnily
right?
enough, that's just part one of a 5-part series when it comes to me stealing from Mark Sexton, and we'll get into that as the show goes on.
Okay. This is going to be interesting. I'm not going to get any drawing done, am I? I mean,
No, neither am
calling
I.
the police every 5 seconds.
Bloody
So, Mark, the thing that fascinates me most about Bug and Stump is that it appears on the surface like two creators each have a character and bring them together. Can you tell us a little something about how that? I assume John was the Stump guy, you were the Bug guy, and your powers combined.
Yes, and I've had surgery since. So I've lost the extra arms. They were quite small, but anyway. John, however, is still quite short. It was actually two guys who got together and drew shit, basically. No, it was a weird one because we basically just drew our own characters, and then whoever happened to have the page would draw the rest, and then one of us would ink it, and then we'd argue about it, and then we'd change it. And we used to sit on either side of a big table and argue at each other and look up and see the other one making weird faces because they were drawing. John was very good at making the weird face. You know, you'd look up and he'd be going, and you'd go, God, what's going on? Lots of spilt tea. Yeah. But that's pretty much that. But we never wrote a script.
Really?
We wrote visually, which is a way of saying that we made it up as we went along.
That's awesome.
We thumbnailed out the whole thing and wrote it that way. We never wrote a script until the much talked about and never seen Chris Weil issues, which was the first time we wrote a script. And yes, that was interesting. Which means to say that what we did was we actually thumbnailed it out first, and then we wrote a script.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that's clearly a sensible way of working. And look at all these people drawing. They look like they're actually doing something.
And hello, Bo, who just came in.
No, Bo's turned up.
Hi,
It's Bo.
Hey, Bo.
It's a Bo.
gentlemen.
Now, you may think you can see the artist from Hair But the Hippo, but when it comes to Bo, I assure you, you see nasty.
How is everybody?
Good, mate.
Hey, man.
Good, Bo.
So, Mark, how did it go from two guys drawing to actually getting this thing in news agencies? That's seems like a huge deal.
Well, so John and I met at university, second year of university, both doing a science degree for God knows what reason. Obviously didn't know what else to do. And more drinks.
Nick.
Oh God, what was I saying? So met John at university, and he was the first person who I'd met because I grew up on this little island in the middle of bloody South Pacific, and no one else drew. So John was literally pretty much the first person who I met who actually drew shit that was kind of like what I drew. And we spent about a year and a half drawing on someone's fast.
Hey, Dave.
Go, Dave.
Nice.
Work those extra arms in, all right?
Yeah.
He's done all right. Dave does his magic. Anyway, then we spent about a year and a half drawing on the tabletops in the in the university cafeteria. Hey, it's a very excitable bug.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Nice action.
Nice. I'm not going to get any drawing done. Anyway. I've drawn a head. But anyway, spent some time drawing tabletops, and then I got bored at a laundromat one day. Wasn't doing anything particularly interesting. And John had been drawing this character called Stump on the tabletops, and I've been drawing this character called Bug. So I thought I'd just draw a little strip with the two of them in it. And I thought that would be a way of getting John to perhaps talk about doing comics. And John got quite cross with me. And once I gave a copy of this to the university newspaper, decided they'd run it. So John got quite cross and decided that he'd better do the next one as well. And so we did that for about a year and a half. We've got another comic out of that you haven't got in your collection.
I actually heard when I was a kid. I heard about the university newsletter Bug and Stumps, and being a kid with $10 pocket money, I had no idea how to obtain such a thing. But yeah, it was a thing of fable and myth back in the day.
And it's complete crap. But anyway.
Okay.
You're not missing anything.
Bloody awful. Yeah, you're definitely not missing anything. But it's not even good toilet paper. Ink comes off. Anyway, so
still a work in progress.
Oh, you got it animated already. Can't see it.
I don't know what's going on with the cameras, but anyways, it'll work.
I saw animation there.
Somebody knows what he's doing. Nice. Anyway,
I usually do little gifts.
Excellent. Anyway, so once John finished university, finished his degree, got booted out, we weren't allowed to do anything for the university newspaper anymore. So we decided, we'd seen issue 1 at that stage. I think 2 issues of issue 1 had come out at that stage, and we looked at it, and I have to admit there was a little bit of us looking at it and just going,
we can do that.
Maybe do better than that. Maybe. Which was probably slightly presumptuous of us. And we didn't. But anyway, we decided we'd give it a shot. So we spent some time drawing shit. And then we published some shit using my savings. And spoke to someone at Gordon Gotch and the news agency distribution mob. And they went, oh, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah,
and got into news agencies and then traumatized kids for the next few years.
Yeah, that's Nicholas Cleary in the background. Nick's Quick's Pics back with us.
He looks exactly like me.
Yeah,
prior to the surgery, of course.
Prior to the surgery, yes.
Prior to the surgery, yes. Very good. Nice. Okay, I'm going to try and draw something on that.
So it sounds like this is another good time for another episode of Spedsy Steals from Sexton. So I realized how much I'd stolen from you. So Mark, I do a book called The Devil's Toilet, which loosely continues on a book I did years and years ago called Badly Beaten Boy. And there was a robot in that book, and I continued his story in The Devil's Toilet too. And I had him power down at the end of issue 2, which was very fortunate because I was looking at him and I was like, oh, that's a very interesting design of mine. Where did I even get that from? And so I started going back through old drawings, thinking about it, and I realized where my inspiration had come from. So back in the day, me and my mate Dan, we would literally draw Bug and Stump over and over and over. And at some point, I have taken your robot and drawn it enough times that I began to think it was mine. It's very fortunate that at the end of issue 2, he is decommissioned, and he will appear in issue 3 in an all new armor set, because that is way too close for comfort. So thank you. That's another edition of Spedsy Steals from Sexton.
Well, it's nice to know that it continued on.
Yeah, that the plagiarism continued.
So, Mark, did you bring your lawyer with you as well?
I think we've got some examples of Chris Well having drawn those characters as well from memory.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, more balaclava required.
Yes.
Nice.
So, as quickly as you became this really big deal, then Bug and Stump kind of went away. Now, I'm brushing over a big career here, but it's a very fascinating story about what happened to Bug and Stump and what happened to our comics. and it all starts, I guess, with your relationship with TISM. How did you guys hook up with TISM, start drawing their books, and then what happened after that caused Bug and Stump to go away?
All right. Well, weirdly enough, we were colossal fans of TISM, but didn't know them from a bar of soap like everybody else. And then Dylan Naylor of Dar and Dor fame, et cetera, and Patricia, all that sort of stuff, was doing a comic book for a band called the Fireballs, which I think he did one or two issues of. And the Fireballs had the same management as TISM, smart artists, and they asked the manager asked Dylan whether he wanted to do a TISM comic, and Dylan went, "No, I don't. I really don't. But I think I know someone who might."
Yeah.
And so he gave us a ring and just said, "Oh, are you interested?" And then we went, "Oh, fuck yeah!"
You literally name checked TISM in Bug and Stump 1. They're in the it's so weird. Yeah.
I can't remember it, but anyway, there you go.
You also name checked Alternate Worlds, which is a comic book store that I actually work at. So the whole it's like full circle for me tonight.
Oh, nice.
Dave's doing it again.
Very nice.
Dave's working. He's got well defined forearms there. I'm liking it. Anyway, so we did these. We went to see the TISM management, and they asked us to do a 6-page press release for the new TISM album that's coming out, which we summarily failed to do, and ended up doing a 21-page comic, which was supposed to be a biography of the band, but not a very good one. And that sold ridiculously well. There must be a lot of TISM fans out there at the time. So we asked whether we could do a second one, and the band went, "Oh, yes," but this time, the two singers said yes, but we'd like to have a go at writing it this time.
Yeah.
And they wrote a story which was a little bit more interesting, perhaps, and a little bit more actionable.
Boost
yes.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Let's just.
I can boost myself. I forgot. But yeah, so I believe this is the speech bubble that got you in trouble.
That's the speech bubble. Yes, the Take Drugs Kids Did Me No Harm, which we didn't even clock that one was going to be a problem. We actually thought it was because we were naming names of people who'd had dodgy things happen to them.
Yeah, and the idea being that then you turn the page and all this stuff did happen to him. So don't take drugs because this is what happened.
But you need to get. So what happened was it went out there. It was in the news for 24 hours, and someone in Queensland, some manager, some regional manager in Queensland, read it or got a complaint from a parent, and within 24 hours it was recalled. And pulled off the shelves, and we lost our distribution overnight. We got told that we were done with them, and we got slightly banned. So overnight we lost 95% of our business, and it was just the point where we were just thinking we were going to actually start doing this full time. So I'd been doing it for a year full time. I quit my PhD in genetics, and I was doing the comics full time. John had just got married and bought a house and had a mortgage and all this adult shit, this terrible adult shit that we don't want to talk about because no one likes that sort of talk. So we basically found ourselves going, oh shit! And the same week, the comic came out and then vanished within 24 hours. It got picked up by a director up in, yes, I'm very bad, which is a good thing. A copy of the comic got picked up by Alex Proyas, who was a director up in Sydney who had done The Crow and was busy in pre-production on a new film called Dark City. And he was a TISM fan. And so he picked up the comic, and he'd just broken his previous storyboard artist, a guy called Peter Pound, who may also recognise the name. He'd broken his storyboard artist and needed a new one, and he tended to use comic book artists. So having read the Tism comic, he gave me a ring and asked me whether I wanted to come up and storyboard a film. And so all those things came together and kind of killed ARG Comics. So yeah. I've told that story very badly, and I'm sorry.
That's pretty good. I understood.
Yeah,
so
easy to follow.
So also, highly spurious. I'm looking through the Tism artwork at the moment, actually. So.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Mark, of all the guests, none of them have ever drawn before, mate, so don't feel that you have to draw.
I've started,
Oh,
but I'm a long way away from finishing.
It's pretty hard to talk and think about what you're doing while you're trying to draw. And that's,
I never think. Don't worry about that. I don't think at all. There's no thinking. There's just kind of this weird motor movement going on over here, and then you look down what you've done, and you just go, "Oh God!"
Reflex actions.
Yeah,
it's like breathing to you.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Well, I've literally spent the entire day bloody drawing storyboards, so I'm a bit over drawing today. So
right.
we'll see how we go.
What film are you working on?
I'm currently working on Furiosa, so the next Mad Max.
Oh right,
Hells yeah! Because I know you've been doing the comic books a little bit as well, haven't you? Been working on
I've done some.
Yeah,
I did some Mad Max comics. That was 6 years ago. That's really depressing. Yeah. Someone's got a
nice copy.
Nice.
Totally devalued. It's worth 25 cents now. So I've been doing some. I did the Mad Max comics, and I've done a bit of stuff for 2000 AD. So I've been drawing. Story and stuff like that, which has been fun. So Judge Reed's my favourite comic character. So hey, that was fun.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Inking just before I start inking.
Nice.
Dave's starting to depress me, but hit by his speed.
Good thing Zach's not here.
Yeah. Zach had finished.
Zach could have started yesterday.
Very fast.
Nice.
Nice.
But yeah, I'll slow going because I'm talking too much.
Yeah.
But it sounds like another time for another episode of Spedsy Steals from Sexton. What? So this one is fortunately this one died as soon as it began, so I didn't rip this one off too much. But there was ComX, and I used to be called Lyle Comics. That's my last name. But then I turned it into Eek Comics because I can't be Comics, so I'll be Eek Comics. I was just a tad influenced by Mark and John. Yeah. Back to the show.
You could have just done ARG with another A.
Yeah. And then I would have been first in the phone book too.
That's
It
right.
would have been good.
That's what we did ARG.
Yeah.
and then someone over in America, because at the time we did it, there was so many independent publishers around. Someone started who had 4 A's in their name, so we went first in the phone book.
Yeah.
This is, I suppose, I'm butting in on Mark's time here, but Amazing Tales was originally going to be Tall Tales and True. That was the original title for the series.
Yep.
But I thought, when looking at different online sites for comics and names and all this sort of stuff, and I thought everyone starts alphabetically and they run through alphabetically. So I want something that starts with A.
Yeah.
So that's where it came up to be Amazing Tales.
Nice.
So, there you go.
Excellent. Well done.
That's my
So Rob, I have a question to you. I might be jumping ahead of something, but have you ever stolen anything else from Mark, like a sandwich at a convention or his wallet?
Now that you come to mention it, I was missing a sandwich.
I have 2 more things on my Spedsy Steals list, but no, there's no sandwich there as far as I can tell.
Okay, so I didn't know spoilers then. I didn't spoil it for anybody, so
No.
great.
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh, nice.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Fantastic,
Sweet.
mate. Really.
Looking particularly happy.
Yeah, so I guess when I was younger, I didn't understand where Bug and Stump had gone. They just stopped appearing on news agency shelves. Were you ever tempted to return to the characters, or it was just life got busy?
Look, when we got banned, we were halfway through issue 10 at the time. So there's this folder here, this folder here. That's all the Bug and Stuff artwork. So we went halfway through issue 10, but we've gone ahead. We jumped ahead, and we had, as I mentioned earlier, we'd actually already written and done layouts for and paid Chris Wale to do 3 issues for us.
Yeah.
He's holding up 2 fingers. 3 issues. So we'd actually got another 3 issues in the can already. And we were in the process of talking to Sam Young about doing a Bug and Stump and Zero Assassin crossover.
Okay.
And we had got a theory go ahead from Sam. And so it was, and this is the other reason why it all fell over. So we literally got to the point where we were just about to get the characters to meet in what we'd drawn, and then Sam got the shits for some reason or another, and we're not quite sure why, and withdrew permission.
Right.
So I think he decided we probably weren't going to respect his character, which is probably right. But anyway.
Oh, so you were in talks. You're not in talks.
No. I haven't spoken to Sam since.
Okay. I got all excited. I raised my hands. I thought you were going to drop a bombshell exclusive here on Drink and Draw.
I wish. But having said that, though, every comic I've done since 2015 has had Bug and Stump in it.
Oh, that's a rip.
Nice.
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 And all.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah. Edmund. So Bug and Stump's appeared in the Mad Max comics. They're there. And they're in every issue, every story of 2000, every story in 2000 AD I've done. They've appeared in that. So
awesome.
they're currently running around various universes, trying to figure out how the fuck to get back home. That's my theory.
Yeah.
How have they shown up, Mark? Are they as the characters showed up, or is it just the comic that showed up as lying on a desk or something like that?
No. The characters show up in the comics. No, they. I don't have any copies here, but there's the Mad Max comic. It's a bit hard to find them. They're in a crowd scene in the Thunderdome sequence. If you have a look through, you might find them.
I'll have to have a look later. Yeah,
the only problem about it is that they don't actually ever give the colorists.
If it's visible or not.
Yeah.
Can you guys see anything, or is it just 2 dots? I just see dots.
Two dots dancing around, Alex.
I've seen some very excitable dots.
Yeah.
Shit. Anyways, I don't know. It looks like the MacBook Pro just isn't. It's got a shitty amateur camera into it. If I juggle it, does that help?
Hang on, a bit closer.
Hang on. If you put your hand near it.
Closer.
Here we go.
Whoa, there it is.
That's awesome.
There you go. There's still bits to go.
You've got Stump in there too. You're doing both of them.
Then we're going for extra points.
Yeah, we're supposed to. I thought that was the point. I did not know we had a. I did not know we're not supposed to do both of them. Nobody tells me anything.
Well, one of them's quite small, so I mean, he's easily missed. So
Yeah.
We planned that, Alex. Don't tell Alex, all right? We all in cahoots, mate.
To make him do more.
Yeah.
Gives us an edge.
There you go.
Last time he drew bloody Lee when he was supposed to be drawing something else. What were we drawing that night? He ended up drawing Lee.
I don't know. I think I drew him in my own time. It wasn't part of drink and draw time.
Oh, right.
Dave, you're just trying to control me. You're the man.
You're out of control, mate. Oh, man.
Nice one, Josh.
Look at the hat.
Awesome.
Very good, mate.
Technical question. How many fingers are we talking?
He's got 3.
Wow.
He's got 3.
I would,
And he does have thumbs.
Okay.
Oh,
sweet.
okay.
So I've got a question for Mark.
Oh, sweet.
Good one.
Oh,
Thanks for
hey,
that. Sweet. Yeah,
good.
that's
Going off
great,
tonight,
mate,
guys.
and that's what he's
Thinking
doing up
time.
there. I would have given him 5.
5 thumbs.
No. Probably.
There you go.
I lose count pretty quick. Yeah.
Nice one, Nick.
Computer's crap.
So
Excellent.
when you were printing
Ed.
comics in the 90s, like I've noticed with every issue I've got of the Bug and Stump, they're all different sizes. So was that a big hassle trying to get the printers to actually do a standard American comic size? This one's hanging over.
Yeah. Let's just say that we didn't know what the hell we were doing when we did issue 1. And
No elaborate.
we might have oversized the comic a little bit, but I think for some reason or other we'd gone for issue 1 dimensions and got that wrong as well. So yeah, we basically just stuffed up. And then since then, I mean, these were published on, unlike today where it's all, beautiful computerized systems. These are done on giant web presses down in bloody Geelong. And that was literally where, they feed into the machine. They'd, some bored-looking technician with a fag hang out of his mouth would sit there just going, "Yeah, right, yeah, good." Hit a switch, run it for 10 seconds, turn it off, and there'd be 10,000 copies printed. And then they'd go away and staple them and trim them, and that was it. So yes, I don't think we had much control over the.
How many did you have to get printed in a run to make it worthwhile?
When we started, we did 6,000 copies, and I think towards the end we were doing 12.
Jeez.
We never lost money on Bug and Stump. We did all right out of it. I mean, we didn't make money. It wasn't a goer, but it never lost money. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's a good thing.
Bloody brilliant.
So that was kind of fun, but so it covered its costs. Let's put it that way.
You don't have a garage full of boxes of them, Mark?
You know what? I've got 4 complete sets up in a box up on the roof.
How much?
That's all I've got.
No one wants to buy them now, mate.
No. But I've got to admit, what's happened is I've gone around all the comic stores that I possibly can and found the decent quality copies and bought them all.
Yeah.
because I didn't have my own bloody copies anymore, so it's just like, you fucking idiot! So yeah. Anyway, and then my bloody father opened up a desk one day at his place and said, "Oh, look, what I found in my desk," and there was 30 odd copies of various issues, which I don't know what happened to them.
Wow.
So there's no chance I could get any.
If I can find
man.
If I can find them, I'll let you know.
I'll call you tomorrow.
They're in Victoria, and I can't get there.
You could have tried, man.
Where are you?
Well, it's true. It's true. I could, but I'd wear a mask. Really.
Where are you at, Mark? Where are you? Not in?
I'm in Summer Hill in Sydney. So I'm in lockdown central.
Right. Yeah, right.
Playtown. Nice.
Right. You're a Melbourne bloke for some reason.
Well, I was Melbourne. So when we were doing Bug and Stump, I was down in Melbourne.
Yeah. How long have you been in New South Wales?
Since I started doing film. So, what was that, 96?
Right.
Yeah, 96.
Okay.
So
For a while now.
I can't do maths anymore, but it sounds like 25 years to me. So, yeah. It's depressing.
Right,
I moved up here and do a film I haven't quite left yet. Let's put it that way. So yeah. Anyway,
you working? Do you get into? Is it at the FCG where you're working? You doing animation and working for the film mob in there?
Oh, you mean over at Animal Logic and places like that at Fox Studios?
Fox, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been into Animal Logic since 2014. I think they got posed with me because I left a film to do the Mad Max comics. It was a more fun thing to do.
Yeah,
So,
well, you sort of instigated that, didn't you? You know, you were driving
slightly.
Yeah.
Slightly, yeah. Well, I mean, it seemed to be. Well, look, when you're doing a film, and the other two people working on it with you, Brendan McCarthy of 2000 AD fame, who's disgustingly talented person, possibly not the easiest person to get on with, but his talent's amazing. And Peter Pound, who's a singular talent himself. I mean, you're surrounded by people who are pretty bloody good at doing comics. So, like, let's do them. But by the time George got around to doing the comics, everyone else had left. So it was just me.
No.
All good, Bo.
Bad luck, Bo.
Who's ready for another edition of Spedsy Steals from Sexton?
Hang on. Dave wants to get in first.
Sorry, do Dave.
Nice. Dave's doing well. Dave's doing well.
Classic Dave.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice. All right.
Now, without further ado, let me introduce my iconic character that I quickly realized was a ripoff, so I put him away for a long time. But here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Beanhead.
I love Beanhead. It looks great.
Gumby.
Mm.
So yeah, he wasn't long for this world when I realised where his influence came from. I
do like the fact you went to the all the effort of drawing that up, painting it, giving it colour, printing it out, and then realising.
Well, see, I think once I added the green, that's when I went, now I see where I'm coming from. This is a reoccurring thing.
Very good.
If you got that.
We have a question from the audience.
Audience. Good Lord, there's an audience?
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Does everyone know what year it was they got their first comic or art piece published in a comic?
Yeah, I remember mine. It was 2021.
I remember that far ago.
Is that you said that, Nick? Yeah. Nick,
nice.
You're second billing, mate. How come you're not top billing?
Well, we rectified that on issue 2. Just came out yesterday. Yeah. So we're taking it in turns. There's Nick top billing.
Nice.
I got the first issue because I think Nick said something like, well, you've got the bigger name. I was like, wait, what? And then I thought, oh, maybe he means letters. I beat him by like 2 letters. So,
Lizzle.
Hey, rightio.
Got him.
Leslie. How do you say it, Leslie?
Lyle. I only say it in every video 1,000 times. Branding.
I know you say your bloody name, mate.
I don't know.
It's just that he says it wrong every time.
Yeah. Now I just want to show you another piece of art that we just got in. Now this piece is kind of special because this is the gentleman who I stole your comic with. His name is Dan May, and he recently, because of this show, has started picking up a pencil again. So here's Dan has. Oh wait, can you see it? Hang on. There we go.
Hey! That was strangely familiar as well.
Yeah, that's good.
That's awesome.
That's wonderful.
That guy must have incredible artistic genes in his family. Smells a lot like my little brother.
Mark, if I can name drop for a second, I was talking today with one of the most successful people in Australian comics, Damien Shanahan of Pizza Man.
God. Did you hit him?
No, I spoke to him virtually. But he had only good things to say about you. He said that you were quite the mentor for him back in the day and helped get his start.
And look what happened. He left the country.
Yeah.
Where is he? What's the story? I don't know him.
So he did Pizza Man. So
he was in Anthology as well, wasn't he?
Was it? Right.
Yeah, and so I think the big deal with Pizza Man ended up in show bags, and so almost every kid in Melbourne, at least, or in Australia, had Pizza Man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's like the most successful comic in Australian history, I think, because of there's such a huge print run to get in the show bags.
But that happened with Dan Dill as well, right?
Yeah,
it did.
I think Dylan Naylor also said that, like, he also had.
It was like 100. Was it 1 million or 100,000 or something ridiculous? It was huge.
Yeah,
numbers.
something like that.
Yeah, right.
I think it was like 1 million.
Yeah. I mean, Dylan's the dark. The quiet. He's the BP of Australian comics, the quiet achiever.
I mean, those are Devil's Toilet numbers we're talking now.
Definitely. And we got another piece coming from the audience as well.
All right.
From Mr. Menzie.
All right.
Hey!
Just a work in progress so far.
Great.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
He'll probably finish by the end.
As usual.
It's Unforgiven Bug. It's pretty cool.
Does he sport a cobra, does he?
He gets a hat in the first issue.
In the first issue?
Yeah, his hat's pinched from another alien. And I don't know where the alien got the hat from. Yeah.
Was it Rob's alien?
It was Beanhead. I knew.
Explain the forward backwards of thievery that's going on.
As I recall, it was called Fabius actually, but anyway,
it was. Yeah.
Which is short for Rob, by the way. I'm trying really hard to draw a picture before the end of this, so sorry, I'm being boring now.
No, I should be
trying to multitask.
Did you ask you a question?
Yeah, well, I was just thinking I might actually ask our newbie today, Josh. Would you mind telling us a little something about you, maybe about Heaps Comics?
Yeah, sure. Well, I was going to say before, my first year published in a comic was 2020. And it was my comic that I put together with a bunch of friends.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a big newbie in the comics game, but I bloody love them. And I thought I actually stole the idea from a Slovenian comic called Strip Burger. I don't know if anyone knows Strip Burger.
Slovenian.
Very good.
Oh, you're going to say you stole it from Rob.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do an issue all centered around a common theme. Every comic artist does their own 4 or 5 page little interpretation of whatever the theme is.
All right, so it's a what do you call those things? Anthology.
Anthology, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Our first one was Beginnings. Our second one was History, and our third one was Animal. So there's a very clear theme going on.
Yeah. Number 4 was Drive, right?
Number 4 was Drive, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Basically, we brainstorm a bunch of words and then vote on the word that we like the most.
Yeah.
That's how Vermoose got going, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, speaking of Rob stealing shit from everybody,
Done it, mate.
I was in Heaps 3. and said to Josh, "Can I be in this all the time?" And he was like, "Nah." So I was like, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Nick, do you want to do an anthology?" And Vamoose was born, because there are no original ideas when it comes to me. There is only take someone else's and make it your own. And that sounds like a nice segue into Spedsy steals from Sexton. So this is the last one, and this is the one that, even if his lawyers came, I would refuse to give up, because I've been doing it for so damn long. I kind of forgot where it came from. But this is ridiculous.
This is something actionable, this one.
You can see here Mark Sexton's signature, and then a young 14-year-old boy adopted the style for his own and still signs it to this day. As you can see on this Beanhead one from 2007, it is a little bit more graffiti-ish, but this one I found was almost as square as Mark's. And I was like, yeah, that's a good representation of how much I am a plagiarist. Yeah.
So I feel like this whole session is being here to clear your conscience.
Sorry, there was a clopping of the streams. What did you say, Mark?
I'm just saying, it feels like this whole episode tonight has all been about you actually being a confessional.
Yeah. And it's just something I can admit to. When your lawyers come after me, I can say, look, he was laughing at most of it. Surely it's not actionable. Yeah.
He had his iPhone out and everything.
I've got something to confess as well for Mark. I did a comic in 1996 that had Stump in it. No, had Bug in it. And I brought it to the 96 convention in Melbourne. And then I chickened out and didn't show it to you. So that's the cover. In 96, there's Bug and Cyber Swine and Scunge. I did the dark image.
Amazing.
That's
wicked.
The Bug and Stump covers.
Oh, they're better than the ones we did. Nice.
I did show it to the Greener Pasture guys, because none of their characters were in the thing, but I didn't show it to anyone whose characters that I put in it.
Tim McEwen.
Very cool. Oh, should have shown it to us. We wouldn't have complained much.
I did buy a comic off you and got it signed. So.
Did you pay for it, or you just?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I also,
rookie. Hey, come on, Ed. Apparently those things are free.
I was new. I didn't know you were supposed to steal comics from the artists.
There's one there for you, Ed, on the screen.
Dan, Jeremy, thanks. And Julia, thanks.
Wow. So, Mark, there was talk a while ago about perhaps re-releasing the TISM comics. If that was a success, would there be a chance of Bug and Stump going back into print?
Well,
only say what you're allowed to
think about. It's nice to think about it. So, yeah, well, firstly, yes, there's a reason why the TISM artwork is out. I've got to find myself an A3 scanner, let's put it that way.
Awesome. That's nice, Dave.
Nice. Dave, you've actually made him look about as human as I've ever seen him. It's lovely.
I was stuffed up there.
Very nice. No, I like it. It's good. It's good. So yes, TISM. There's a fairly good opportunity to get it back into print, because TISM are doing a re-release of all their albums, and we might be able to do something with the band again. So we're thinking about what we can do that can get us banned again. We'll see how we go. I mean, might as well get back in the industry just so we can get banned again immediately.
Yeah, why not?
So why not? But Bug and Stump's a big job, because there's 2.5 missing issues that haven't been done yet, and Chris Wales issues still haven't been inked. So we've got got all this lovely Criswell artwork.
Yeah.
Reaching down for it. Down here somewhere. He says reaching into, and therefore not drawing, and therefore not going to get finished before this is finished. This is everything for the viewers. But, we've got all this lovely Criswell artwork.
Yeah. Fantastic, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
Geez, that's penciling, is it? Geez, that's tight.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That is humbling.
Yeah.
So,
Pete, after our discussion today about our traditional stuff.
Yeah.
Chris is an amazing artist. I follow him on Instagram. Just everything he does is just super amazing.
Yeah.
he's a bastard.
Yeah.
And just for the hell of it, that's how we wrote the comics.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's actually the script. The script for the issues.
Which issues is that the one you haven't?
They're the Criswell issues.
Yeah, right. They're photocopied or original?
These are the originals.
Right, yeah.
Actually, the Mad Max comics that way too.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you're still writing, like you're still doing them like that.
Yeah. It just makes no sense to me. Otherwise, I get very confused. When I get given a script. Takes me about twice as long to do it. So it seems to make sense to actually think about it in a visual way and to write it visually because.
I tend to write them the same way.
I think it makes sense to me.
There's my rough pencil stories, and I actually was done up for the size of the book. Well, these are not complete, but there's a few pages missing. But that's a whole comic laid out in the story.
Beautiful, Dave.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you should put those in the back of a trade when you collect Amazing Tales or something. I'd be fascinated to read that.
Yeah, true.
I think you
They
should.
change a bit, when you do the finished thing, of course, as you know, you sort of change that. And, hang on, no, that panel will move, or that will change.
Well, Dave, now I do the storyboards. So there's Furiosa storyboards.
What? Those little things?
Oh, spoiler!
He dies in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, as you can see, you can't really tell what the hell they look like, and then they all completely bloody change.
Yeah,
so, yes.
that's the smarter way to do it. You haven't put as much effort into it. Hey, Nick.
How you going, guys?
Hey, Nick.
Thought I'd chop in.
Connect.
Hey, Nick. Hey, Nick.
How you going? Mike, I've got a question for you.
Somebody else?
We've heard from Rob about his influences. Who are some of your influences?
Ooh. Look, so I never grew up reading comics. I didn't read a comic until I was 15, and the first comic book I read was Judge Dredd. So but the only other thing I read before that was Asterix books, because there was no comics where I grew up. So the storytelling style of Asterix to a certain degree, and then all these British artists who worked in 2000 AD, like Brian Bolland and Carlos Ezquerra to a certain degree, particularly Brian Bolland, people like that. And then it's kind of changed over the years. I mean, I went through a Mike Mignola phase like everybody else. There's lots of different artists, and now I find myself looking at other storyboard artists and just going, okay.
When I look at your work, when I look at the bug, I see a lot of the tick going on, personally.
I thought that too when I just recently read a bunch of Ben Edlund's Tick, and the first thing I thought of was Bug and Stump. But then rereading Bug, it doesn't look like you maybe took as much influences. Might have just been thinking the same thing at the same time.
Another Australian comic being stolen by an international artist and made into a successful property.
Ooh.
I'm not international.
Admittedly, the first time I drew Bug was when I was 7. So I've had him since I was 7.
Wow.
It was a comic called Bug Goes Camping. And there was 6 panels in it where he woke up in a bed, He had a pipe. He had a cat that smoked a pipe. I have no idea why. And he woke up and went, I think I'll go camping. And then he got in his car and he drove to a spot. And then he said, I think this is a good spot. And then he put up a tent. And then the fifth panel, for some reason or other, he was shooting a German in a tree. Don't know why. And then on the fifth panel, he was sleeping under the stars, going, "It was a good day." So
that sounds like a great day.
Doesn't pay to be German, clearly. Alrighty, so yes. For once, I'm ahead of my time. Dear.
Yeah, Mark, can I ask just selfishly? I work for Alternate Worlds Comic Shop, and you thank them in Bug and Stump, and their ads are all over the books. Did they do something to help you guys, or is there a story there, or is it just that was your local comic?
They were very encouraging, and that was also where I bought my comics.
Okay.
Back in the early 90s. Yeah. And we spoke to Joe and Peter a few times about how we might go about doing what we're doing. And I don't think we took any of their advice.
Yeah.
But which probably was the reason why we probably failed ultimately. But they did help. They did try to help out in some way, shape, or form by back in the days. The distribution was the holy grail. You know, if you get over in America, then you thought, which was in Hollywood, etc. But to get it over in the States, when you're publishing in Australia, was hard work. And so Joe and Peter helped us by trying to distribute some over there to I can't remember which bloody distributor it was at the time. I think they sent over a few hundred, and as far as I know, they didn't sell them. I think they were all seconds from the newsagents, so they probably had price tags all over there. But because we ran out of issues. We sold out of issue 1, and then they said, we've got orders for. They didn't tell us they were doing it, so they turned around and said, we got orders for 300 copies for the States. Can we have them? We went, we don't have any.
Yeah.
So we had to give them second. So yes, bad planning. But it was very nice of them to try.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, we didn't know what hell we were doing.
Yeah, I mean, I remember
still don't, by the way.
Bug and Stump was the first non-Marvel or DC book that I ever got. Right? Like, I didn't know that comics existed outside of Spider-Man and Batman. I can still remember it exactly. It was at the Eastland newsagents. I went in to see whatever Silver Surfers were there, and there was this bigger than the other comics white background with 2 characters. I had no idea who they were, and I don't know why I was so drawn to it. But it was like it made me feel like I could draw, like I could do comics. Because, a Jim Lee Batman seemed so far out of my purview that it was just unachievable. And not that I can draw like you or John, but it seemed like a cartoony, fun style, and that's kind of where I was at the time, and still am. I have no conclusion to this story other than.
Did you end up stealing that issue, Rob, from the newsagent?
I did pay for some of the things I did pay for. Yes.
I don't think anyone ever paid for anything from the Eastland News Agency.
Oh no, I was too scared to actually steal. I just accidentally stole.
Well, this is the only one we bought from there, and they thought he was weird.
Yeah.
Hey!
Nice.
Wow, good one, Ed. Nice. Colour too, beautiful.
Crap! I gotta color it in. I'm still coloring in the animation of the effects.
Very nice.
Thanks, Ed. It's awesome.
All right.
Nick Mays
right on time there, Ed.
Here's Nick Mays. I can't see it for some reason, but there we go.
Woo!
That looks cool.
Excellent.
I can't see it.
Nice.
Pick it up again.
Wow.
I can't see it.
Oh, it's looking great.
Cool.
You see it now, Dave?
No.
I don't know why
It's not worth looking at.
Dave, you're missing out. Nice.
Oh, sorry, Dave. It's a very. One more time. Can you see it? That.
No.
It's a very
Try
happy
again.
looking.
How odd.
I'm enjoying everybody's use of colour.
Well, we've got Tony Menzies
No,
just sent in his finished piece as well. But can you see this one, Dave?
Yeah, yeah.
Funnily enough, I can't see it. That's really strange. I really can't.
Did you
Okay,
have
I'll try
to
again.
go Tony's after mine?
Yeah. What?
Very nice. That's fantastic.
Again now.
What about this one, Dave?
All right.
Yep, got it.
Hey!
Yeah, excellent.
So it works if I do it. Maybe it's the multiple admins that's stuffing the software.
Yeah, maybe.
I should have done a pose similar to that where you can definitely see all those arms.
I can see them on yours.
I thought you dealt with
Alrighty.
multiple arms nicely. It is tricky to, when you're used to drawing two arms all the time, then where do you fit these other two?
Where do you fit the other two? Yeah.
See what's really tricky? Drawing characters with backwards hands. Try doing that.
Yeah.
We had two characters in Ocean number 10, the one that never got published, and I had to draw 10 pages of these characters with backwards hands, and man, does that fuck with your head.
Oh,
Hands.
yeah.
What are you talking about?
The hands are on the wrong arm.
The thumbs are on the wrong side. So the
Most of the
thumbs are
time I
down
accidentally
here
do that
instead of up
anyway.
here.
Oh,
Bloody
yeah.
I did it deliberately as part of the design, and it absolutely fucked my head. I kept on drawing the hands right and then having to rub them out and draw them wrong.
Okay. Note to self: never try and draw a character with stupid hands like that.
Backwards. Yes. Good life lesson. I'm glad I helped. I came here to help someone. I'm glad I have.
Yeah.
There's a lot of catharsis tonight. You've done well, Mark.
Well, I'm glad I've unburdened Rob.
Yeah.
I have a feeling there's going to be conversations after this between Mark and Rob.
Yeah.
I
And Mark's
don't know what you're
lawyers,
talking
yeah.
about. Don't know what you're talking about.
Well, he
I've
stole
gone
his
quiet.
hat, Mark, so I'm guessing there you guys are even then.
I've gone quiet because I realized the time and I
I was
haven't
going to say,
finished.
we're on the hour mark, guys. So
I'm going quiet too, so.
All right.
Do I send the gift to Sizzle or Lizzle?
Sizzle is best.
Sizzle's best.
Ah,
Okay.
Lovely.
Nice one.
Awesome, Pete.
Awesome, Pete.
yeah.
Nice.
Good one. Excellent.
Thanks, guys.
Excellent. I'm doing a really particularly bad job. Oof.
Good.
First time I've drawn a character in about 10 years, I think.
Yeah. You haven't had much time to put pen to paper, mate. That's you're at a bit of a disadvantage.
You emailing Alex or sending to my Oh, hang on. Dave.
I'm gonna messenger it. Is that all right?
Yeah, perfect. Nice one,
Nice.
Dave.
Cool.
Awesome.
Awesome, Dave.
Nice shadows.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I sent it. So
I need fixing a bit.
Yep, I'll bring it up
Very
in a second.
good. This is interesting for the viewers, unless everybody's sitting down drawing as well.
we just
Yeah. All right.
Here's mine. I think
This is
this is a full circle for me. Oh wait, no, it's not there.
Oh,
Wait.
nice.
There you go.
What the hell is it?
Nice. Oh, they're pointing to
That's a good one, mate. Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Then
Got the
it's always
double
awkward when I'm
signature
the one who
going.
puts it up. And then how long do I leave it there for?
Double signature.
Put it on
We
the
all
background.
enjoyed it.
downloading stuff. We got one from, I guess this is the Julian who's been commenting in the show, and he just sent in this one here.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
I can't see it.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't see it
And I'll
either.
try again there, Nick. Can you see it
Oh,
now?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
That's
That's
fantastic.
wicked.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Nice one, Julian.
Yeah, good one.
Lovely.
Well,
Okay,
That's a good
who
note.
did that?
Julian, who's been commenting.
Julian.
Well done, Nick.
Good work, Julian.
Yeah, he's been commenting, Dave.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
on
thanks,
you.
Julian. That's really awesome, man.
Yeah.
It is. Thank you.
And now let's see if this works. As usually, the pictures by Alex point out the most attractive people in the group.
Hey,
So let's
yeah,
see what
this
this
is
points to.
Oh!
No, it's broken.
Spedsy gets 2.
Oh yeah, double the hotness. Double the hotness.
That's a ripper.
Unreal,
Yeah,
Alex.
that's fantastic.
And it's me and Mark. The
fantastic.
bromance continues, or the one-sided bromance anyway.
One's got it, yes.
And Alex is getting the farts. Look. You can see that?
Oh, you know, the after alcohol golf. Woof.
I thought I was in prime position then to get pointed at, but I missed out. Bugger.
I thought when Alex said about the forearms, I was like, oh, lots of people are going to be called hot tonight. It's going to be fun. But no, 2 for me. Awesome.
It just, it's fate, mate. It's the way things are. It's the way the earth is.
Double the hotness.
Philosophy with Dave.
That's right.
Very good.
I
Very
would make
nice.
a hot twin person.
Alrighty.
There you go, Dave.
I think I'm still missing out. It's you and Ed.
Oh, yeah.
You're on fire, Spedsy.
What can I say? The gifts know me. Oh, it's me and Josh, or me and Mark, maybe. Oh,
Yeah.
That looks like just like basically like a female cross-dressing as a male phantom.
Yeah. The female phantom.
Well, it's 2021.
It's not Billy Zane, that's for sure. Oh, poor shark. What's the demon doing to that shark?
Pointing at Mark now.
Just petting it. A little bit rough.
Tough love.
Tough
well,
audience.
who haven't we seen tonight?
Yeah, I was going to say, Josh.
Probably Mark.
Me.
Mark and Josh. Oh, hang on. Let me find you.
Wicked.
Oh, yeah.
That
looking
looks
good,
awesome.
Josh. Well done, mate.
Brilliant,
Nice.
Josh.
Very
That
good.
looks great, Josh. Nice work.
Nice one.
Very nice. God, I haven't sung my name like this for a bloody long time either.
Remember, there's only there are 2 L's in Lyle when you're signing Mark.
Don't worry, I've already rubbed it out several times and realised that I can't do that because he'll definitely see me.
Thanks for saying it right too, Nick. I really appreciate that.
He's just going to say it's his anyway.
True. He says, "I'm being the world's most boring guest right now."
No, I ran out of questions, and now I am.
No, you ran out of confessions.
Yeah,
Confessions, yes. I got Peter's here as well.
I got
So we
a
can
question,
see it a bit
Mark.
better.
I don't know if my reception.
yeah.
Actually,
Go,
you
Alex.
know what?
We got you.
No, my reception's gone crap, guys. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Cool. No, because when you said Dark City, I know that Trudy Cooper and a couple of other comic artists worked on that movie. Do you have any stories? Do you guys work together or catch up or anything?
I was actually staying in an apartment when I was doing Dark City. And I'd never storyboarded before. I didn't know anything about storyboarding, and no one was bloody helping me learn. So I asked if I could get an assistant to help me clean up the boards, so I could get it done faster. And they said yes. So I asked Trudy whether she'd give me a hand. So Trudy came on for about probably about two or three months. And they had There was a little bit of time and helped, and she fucking hated it. She was not happy at all. She just sat there being miserable every day. Mind you, it didn't help the very first day. She managed to scald herself making the coffee. And got herself bloody third-degree burns on her hands, which didn't help. But yes, she didn't have much fun. So yes, yeah.
Thanks, Dan.
That's about the only story
I
I've
love
got.
you, Dan.
That's all my stories. Pretty cool.
And there's another Dan. Dan, I love Dan as well. So
That is the Dan. Can I do a shameless self promotion?
No.
So, well, it's not totally selfless. So, me, Peter, Wilson, Nick May, we had a new book come out just yesterday. It's called Vamoose 2. And if you could bear with me a second, just take a look at this and see if it doesn't whet thy appetite.
Time. Time is an illusion. A human construct. Do you know what is real? Vamoose. Not on my watch. Vamoose is back with issue 2. Packed to the brim with tales as old as just a moment ago. Oh, hell, yeah. Featuring the return of Old Man Biscuit from Rob Lyle. And another Sputnik and Thunderguts adventure from Nick May. Plus, stories and art from some of Australia's greatest creators. Including Ben Sullivan, Robbie Donaldson, Beck Halley, Millie Holton, Hayden Spurrell, Jess Kitty Parker, Emily Grace, Peter Wilson, Brian May, and Isaac George. From Reverie Publications and Psychogenitor.com, Vamoose 2, Not on My Watch, is out now. This is where the party is at. So let's party. All over them butts.
Rip it, mate. Good one.
Fun.
Good work.
It looks like a ball one.
Awesome. Thank you for allowing me that.
Who was the voice actor? He did a great job.
Thank you. Time.
I got
Time is an illusion.
These just came in today.
Oh, nice.
Radical 3.
Radical 3,
some-
nice.
Did I already buy that one off you, mate? I've already paid you for that.
I'll check my thing later and I'll let you know. But it's come up pretty nice with the. Oops.
Yeah, lovely.
Pretty crazy on the colours.
Yeah,
Yeah, looking great, mate.
Looking forward to getting that one.
Lots of blood
There's
there.
an ad for these guys.
Nice
on the back.
presents. Oh, yeah,
Ah.
nice. I know those
cool.
guys.
Good on you.
That's a nice ad.
Where can we go to get that, Ed?
Radical Comic on Facebook.
Yep.
Or Ed Kearsley Art on the Instagram. And
Awesome.
I just got white out on this one, so I'll be keeping that one.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Excellent, mate. Good work.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, very cool.
All right, well, have we seen everybody?
Just trying to figure out how to share my screen.
I was going to ask you, Spedsy,
It's the share button with a little screen with a plus in it.
4 variant covers, was it?
Can you
Yeah.
see that, Mark?
A me cover.
Where is that? I see the button. Didn't know we had that button.
A Nick May cover. So we're basically the cover A and B. And then super limited print run on a Zach George cover and a Bryony May cover.
Oh,
You can
right.
grab them at psychogenitor.com. Yeah. And I'll chuck in a print and a sketch and a thank you and whatever you want. So head on over to psychogenitor.com and
Ooh, whatever I want, huh?
yeah, you know it.
Mark, if you can't find the button, just email it to the email on the bottom of the screen there, art@comx.studio, if you're having troubles finding the share button.
I've got a share button, but the image isn't coming up.
So when
hang
you
on.
press,
Try it again, because I have to let it come up. So just try it again, the share button.
Photoshop. Click. Photoshop. Share. No, won't do it. No, it says can't
really
capture the screen. Yeah. Well, right, where's email? art@comx.studio. This is where the guesses gets really boring.
Once again, the
So,
power of pen and paper presides. You can't beat the old school fellas. Get back to the old school.
I wish.
Hey,
Nick May. Sorry, no, you go, Dave. Go.
I was just going to say, I saw on it was on Facebook, I think it was, Glenn Lumsden was doing some work on paper, ink and paper and ink, using ink. So, and I think that was after he was on our show. So
you think you turned him round, Dave?
Well done.
Got him back. Yeah.
Got him back from the dark side. Nice.
Yeah.
That's funny because I was rereading the Bug and Stump Stolen Ash Can yesterday, and not only does it say in it, "Thank you for either buying this or stealing it," and I'm like, "Yep, no worries." But in the top, it literally says, "Glenn Lumsden is secretly bald."
Oh no,
it's true.
What?
Yeah, it's hard to see, but it says Glenn Lumsden is secretly bald.
Oh, that's written on their wall.
Yeah. And I was like, I wouldn't have got that joke when I was 14, and I get it now. Matter of fact,
I've forgotten making that joke.
Sizzle, save us.
I'm just trying to. Oh, here we go. It went to spam for some reason.
Oh, that's very wise. Very wise.
Welcome, Mark.
That's how you treat your guests. Sizzle.
Yes.
Gee, I don't know.
I'm waiting for it. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Oh, I should check spam just in case. Yeah, Google is getting fussier and fussier with what it specifies as spam. And here we go. Does everyone see it?
Jeez.
It's looking great.
Fantastic.
That's amazing.
Can't see it.
I'm doing more drinking than all of us
And
combined.
I'll try again. What about now, Nick?
Hey.
Yes.
That's so good.
Bloody hell. I wish I couldn't see it.
Look at that. Look at that.
That is
rip-off.
amazing.
That's
it
great.
looks like Spedsy's signature.
Yeah.
I've just realised I put a bottle on a chair.
Oh, that's great, mate. Well
Nice
done.
drawing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's wicked.
Well,
You didn't
Really
have much
cool.
time. They kept you talking, bantering.
Spam. Lovely spam. Sorry.
All right. Well, it makes sense to go out on the drawing from the man himself.
Yep.
So, yes, awesome.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Thank you so much.
I like Quickie because Quickie's giving me a better physique than I really have. It's nice.
I got you, man. I got you.
Yeah, Mark, stick around after the show. We'll have a quick debrief. But yeah, just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute treat to get to dump all my past crimes on you. Josh, thank you so much for joining us. Please don't be a stranger. Come back anytime. Nick, thanks for the quick picks. Dave, Ed, Pete, Alex, Nick, May, thank you so much.
Cheers.
Shane, thank you. To everybody at home for sending in pictures, thank you so much. We'll be back next week. I didn't think to look who's on the show.
Neither did
Doesn't matter. It's always great.
We're very prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait for it. It's going to be worth the wait. It is next week. Computer.
Thanks, Mark.
Come on, it's meant to have been Mark Sexton for the last 6 weeks.
No, I know. We got Mark, Stephen McLeod next week, our first of the next ComX Presents people. Will be
That's
joining
right.
us.
Yes, that's next week.
Yeah, so we're doing a few ComX Presents, and then we'll be back with Tim McEwen, Dean Rankin, Gary Challoner, a bunch of peeps, Ryan Vella. Got some good shows coming up. So thank you very much. Please come back next Friday, 8 o'clock, same bat time, same bat channel, and thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
See you guys.
Everybody-